below these caucuses and primaries so that we can make it to Super Tuesday. And since the chat is lagging a little bit behind the video, I will wait just in case there is someone that has a different idea of who they'd like to pick. It's up to me, it's my game. Alright, well, alright, we're gonna go for Bush then, because... Alright, so this is just the same profile that we saw before. Just as his name, Bush. He's from Texas, former vice president, and middle of the road, WASP. Okay. Alright, now we have to select our guy to be the head of the campaign. Or there's actually one girl too. So, I don't know. This is an interesting choice. I mean, former television executive seems like it would be good because maybe we have a better chance to put commercials on air. Newscaster, I guess we can get some information to switch our positions. Scott, yeah, in this election it would be a terrible idea to pick Scott for our head of staff because it seems like he's really embedded in the establishment. And Alan for the different polls and stuff, I don't know, I feel like we can get some of that information anyway. So I'm kind of leaning towards the ex-television executive. Yeah, seriously, yeah, speaking 5 languages is great. Not necessary for American politics, but TV commercials, it's 1988. I'm gonna say that we're gonna ask for her help. Alright, and this is just confirming the information. Her name is Penelope. I have no idea what this name is supposed to be. But anyway, yep, 5 different languages that she can speak, and she's a television exec. Alright, moving on. Alright, so we have registered ourselves for the election, and get ready to start our long fight to the White House. And they wish us good luck in our fight. Okay, great. Alright, so here we have our 8-bit version of America. You might notice that our elephant marker is on the state of Michigan. In 1988, for the Republicans, this was the first state to... Oh man, was it a caucus or was it a primary? I don't even know. So this is the thing. I know some of the states and what they do, but Michigan... And I'm not sure if it's going to tell us. See, this is the other part of this game that is absolutely essential. The instruction manual. Like, most games, you don't need this, but for this game, there's some really useful information in here. First of all, we open it up and we get a nice picture of the Lincoln Memorial. Got a kind of cute anime girl explaining things to us, how the process works. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of stuff on how the game is played. Alright, we got the picture of Mount Rushmore here. And they got some profile information on the candidates. Wow, they got a lot more information than what we got in-game. You see, well, let's see. Here, I'll open the page for Bush here so you can take a look at that. So here we have Bush and Thatcher, and all the information we saw in game is there, but then when you go down a little bit further, then you get a lot more specific information about the candidate. So since we picked Bush, let's pick out a couple of things that it says here. Okay, so it's talking about his policy here, and it says that he was vice president for 2 terms, and that he basically agrees with a lot of the current president's policy. Looks like he's for a good relationship with China. He supports rebellion in Nicaragua and is for sanctions on Iran. He wants to play down hostilities with the Soviet Union. And he's a... let's see... he's conservative when it comes to education, church morals, or Christian morals. And he's against taxes. So that's the summary of what it says in his profile. So you get all that information in here. So even if you're a Japanese person that doesn't really know anything about these people or American politics, well, you get a little summary of what the candidate's about. So that's cool. And then we even get a little bit of a description of the different staff members that we have to select from. So Penelope, let's see what it says about her. She's only 26 years old. Well, shit. I hope she's old enough to run a good campaign here. She's a very strong personality and doesn't like losing. That's good. It sounds like her father is the owner of the television empire that she was the head of one of the stations, I guess. She's been in France, Italy, and several other countries while growing up, and speaks 5 languages, but it doesn't say which 5 languages. I'm guessing, well, French, Italian, English, and 2 others. That's probably what it is. Alright, and then after that section, we've got a profile on each of the states that we have to go to before Super Tuesday. Alright, so first state, Michigan. Actually, we got 2 pages here. We got Michigan and Iowa. So, of course, Iowa was the first state to caucus this year for both the Democrats and the Republicans. But in 1988, the Republicans started in Michigan. Okay, so let's read a little bit about this. Let's see. Looks like we have 85% of the population is white, 13% of it's black, and only 2% of the population is something other than black or white. I'm sure that's changed quite a bit since 1988. It's 1.6% agriculture, 34% industry, 26% commerce, I would like to say. Service industry is 24%, and government jobs make up about 4%. Unemployment rate seems to have been going down. Since 1985, it went from 10% to currently about 8%, so it's gone down by 2%. Okay, so as you might imagine, a lot of the profile deals with Detroit being the center of the industrial economy in Michigan, and it talks about, of course, they want to protect car sales. They're worried about Japanese imports and how that's going to affect their economy there. They're pro-relationship with China, apparently. I guess China wasn't making cars back then. They're for the space shuttle program. They're for sanctions against South Africa for apartheid. And, well, I guess that's enough information to get us started. Oh yeah, it only describes the states up to Super Tuesday. So I think there's actually more states before Super Tuesday than there are this year. In 1988 there was more. So just to quickly go through the states that we're looking at here, we're starting out with Michigan, then moving to Iowa, then looks like New Hampshire after that, then Illinois, and then we have Colorado, then New York, then Pennsylvania, then Ohio, then California. Oh, wait a minute though. No, it goes to a lot of major states past Super Tuesday, because it looks like Super Tuesday is the 8th of March in 1988, and several of the states that I just talked about are actually after Super Tuesday. Okay, well that's going to be super difficult when we get there. Okay, well anyway, let's just start. So here we got Michigan. And she said, well, this is the start of our fight. I'm also going to do my best, so do your best too. Okay, great. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that the smiley face on the top of the screen indicates our health. So, of course, we haven't done any campaigning yet, so we're looking like we're in good shape. Under that, we have 9 days, I think, until this caucus or primary. I don't know what Michigan does. We've got... oh, wow. What is that? 9 million? I hate Japanese numbers when they have mon. But yeah, I think $9 million in our coffer. And I'm guessing the red number below that is expenditures. We haven't spent any money yet, so we have that money. Alright, and then she asks, well, what would you like to do? And 2 question marks as opposed to 1 for some reason. We have decide on policy to, I'm guessing, to campaign on, and then do a poll or research. So, I don't know, what would we like to do? If I remember correctly, if we do the research option, yeah, we have like a popularity poll, so maybe this would give us a good idea of where we stand in Michigan. And then also we have collecting data on the state. And if I remember correctly, collecting data is really similar to what is written in the manual. So if you're some poor guy that doesn't have the original copy of this game and then is just playing it on the ROM, then I guess you would go there. So I think I'm gonna wait before I waste any money on these polls, because I think we got a good idea of what we need to do here in Michigan. So let's decide on some policy. Alright, so let's see. So here are the different categories, I guess, of our policy. We've got environmental and shakai. I guess not just environment in the sense of like what we would think environment is, but also just like society. That's what it is. Okay, society and environment. And then we have defense, and then we have economy, and then we have education and morals, and then we have issues concerning Japan, and then just basic foreign policy past that. So this is Michigan. I think definitely we need to get into economy. So let's start there. And let's see. Wow, we've got a lot of choices here. And let's see, I think I got a little bit of notes here to help me out. Alright, so the first choice we have is to increase taxes to reform finance.